D&Dark is an absurd, over-the-top comedy horror adventure that is intended for older audiences. Content warnings can be found in the episode descriptions. Hello and welcome to D&Dark, a comedy horror adventure Realplay podcast, loosely based on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and starring some of history's most infamous monsters. I'm Danger Dan Jerz, and I'm your host, / Crypt Keeper.
Hello, my name is Daniel Cruz, and I play Imhotep the Mummy, who is currently in hell. And last session, I got to say one of my favorite one-liners to a character that I had no context for why he was there. That's it. That's the recap.
And with that, that's all we need.
So as Imhotep is standing in line, leaning against the boulder, struggling to keep the lights in his eyes on, which is his way of keeping them closed or open, he just kind of feels this rush of energy. Okay. And then immediately casts his stone shape onto the boulder and turns it into the staff again, and he is now leaning on the staff. Oh, so much better.
Above your head, you see a little pixelated level up.
Oh, Larry, I think we forgot to turn off the EXP share.
Yeah.
All of the souls around you in line just kind of look at you as that obnoxious showing, and little light show just kind of distracts them momentarily, cutting through the surround sound screens around you, looping through that one commercial, entertains them for a bit before turning back to the switchback and moving agonizingly slow.
Good.
But by this point, you have made it through a majority of the switchback, and you are standing up in front of a barred-closed gate that is before a large infernal portal that you could feel some searing heat coming out of as you're approaching.
I assume I need to go through there.
And as you make your way up towards the gate, there's a bailiff on either side that takes a look at you, takes a look at all the souls, sees that you're very clearly different.
Kind of wave at them awkwardly.
And then they just kind of shrug, swivel the gate open, and say, head down through the portal, down the hall to the left, around the corner. You'll see a branching path. If you go to the left, there's Fierna. If you go to the right, there's Belial.
Okay, into the portal to the right, wait for the branching path.
No. You go through the portal, make a left around the corner. There's a branching path. To the left is Fierna, to the right is Belial.
So wait, I'm going to go into the portal, go around the corner, then take a left?
Reverse the order. You're going to go through the portal. You're going to go around. You're getting me confused now. So you're going to go through the portal. You're going to take a left. You're going to go around the corner. You're going to go down the hallway. There's a branching path. To the left is Fierna, to the right is Belial.
Okay, so I'm going to go in. As it starts making the portal, I'm going to go to the portal. Going to take a left, go around the corner. There's going to be a branching path. To the left is Belial, to the right is Fierna. Got it! And he goes inside.
Almost.
This is why the light's so long!
This is hell. You go through the portal, and you can feel the temperature rise sharply around you as you are teleported to the other end of Phlegathos, where, as opposed to rivers and ice, everything has been replaced with lava and fire. You are now making your way through the marble columns through the interior of the courthouse, and long, agonizing lines continue around. You are not in any one of them. You are making your way down the hallway and seeing that there is an enormously long queue going to the right towards Belial, and for Fierna, there is no line.
I feel like there's a hint of sexism involved here. And he makes his way towards Fierna. I'm not accusing Dan of anything. I'm just saying, I feel like there is some sexism written into the lore here.
We have a reason? It's not that reason. Poor Dan.
All right, so reset. So you head down the corner towards Fierna, making your way past the lack of line, and you approach a large entryway towards an office with a little decorative, cursive flourish, live, laugh, love poster that says die, cry, hate.
Love it. Love it. Beautiful.
And as you push your way into her office, opening the doors, you see her sitting behind a desk. She is in a very official-looking legal suit with her feet up on the desk, going through bits and pieces of paperwork, sorting through some contracts, and then looks up over the paper towards you and smiles, and she says,
"Well, slap on my ass and frosting and call me a cake. One after days of pet project, finally made it past the business."
First of all, I do not think I want to do any of what you just told me to do to you. That is, I am a married man. No, thank you. I am a married man. I am a man of the gods. Whatever you just said, put those words back into your mouth, miss. Oh, goodness.
New favorite NPC.
Jesus.
Well, I see you're not going to be any fun. Now, before we get started here, I just have to say we are truly in uncharted territory in here, so I want you to tell me what it is that we are supposed to do and how this is supposed to go, because after all, you are the first who has ever managed to get their boulder up to me, so I don't exactly know how this process works, so please illuminate me.
Well, to put things simply, he kind of holds his staff out. I have, through my own power, managed to make the trial a little easier for myself, and he kind of waves the staff. All I need from you, and I believe the other one, or at least one of you, I don't know the logistics of the two of you being here. I need your stamp on this, and I am on my way. That's really all there is to it.
Well now, let me think on that. Let me ponder for a moment. Because you see, I would be very inclined to allow you to do that. But I'm not exactly going to do that without getting something back in return.
There it is.
Now, I am certain that you have seen how terribly long the lines are going through here. We are in quite a rush right now, but I can only defer so many souls over towards Belial before I have to deal with them myself. So, I don't necessarily want to have to deal with another one.
You don't have to deal with another person?
Yes, whatever your deal is, you're really bringing the energy down, and I don't want to have to deal with that. But I'm not about to give you my seal of approval without getting something in return. So, here is my proposition to you. I would like to defer this to a later time. I will give you my seal, I will sign a contract with you that will expedite you through the line over towards the line. And you can get his stamp and seal of approval and be on your merry way in exchange for a favor down the line. I do not know what kind of usefulness you will have to me at the moment, but I want some time to examine and see where I might best and most properly put you to use.
He kind of rubs his chin and backs away to the door and looks to see just how long it will take him.
It is basically a solid wall of people stretching all the way back around down the corner through. You would essentially have to go back through the entire switchback again in order to get through to him.
Oh.
Kind of shudders a little bit. He makes his way back in and says, your terms are that you will expedite me to the other lord to have things stamped, and I will be along my way, yes. But you wish to use me at some point in the future, undetermined by either you or myself.
Correct. We can always work out the terms of that arrangement later down the line. But I need to have you on the record as being in service to me for that undisclosed favor at that undisclosed time. Why don't you tell me how it is that you were able to get to Phlegathos in the first place? So that I know your skill set.
I do not wish to brag, but for not having a brain in here anymore, I feel like mine is pretty big.
Yes, everyone who comes through here thinks that.
Actually, let me redo that. Let me rephrase that. He would not be bragging about his brain. Brains are stupid. You don't use brains. You soup them out. My intelligence is well enough to allow me to get to where I am, at least.
I suppose that tracks, seeing as you made it all this way in such a short amount of time. However, I do want to warn you that while you might be a racehorse today, one screw-up will leave you a bottle of glue tomorrow. So please, tell me more specifically, set aside the ego. The world doesn't just revolve around you so it can stare at your ass.
What is with you when you're behind?
Tell me what you can do, what you can manipulate, and how you might be of service. Because everyone thinks that they're the cleverest person to make their way through here. But tell me why you actually are.
He kind of thinks for a moment, does I need to take a moment to put together Imhotep's strengths that are not just blowing smoke up his ass.
Get out his resume.
I didn't intend for it to be a very butt-centric group of phrases. I legitimately looked up a list of common Southern expressions and just twisted them around a little bit. A lot of them just skew that way anyway.
He takes a moment and he looks up at her and he says, like many of you, I deal in souls. Although it is not my place to leave them for damnation, but rather to do what I can to ease their suffering and bring them to an afterlife that they deserve. Whether that is here or not is not mine to decide. That being said, I'm not a huge fan of how they are treated here.
Interesting. So you would consider yourself more of a shepherd of souls than a judger of them?
It is for the god Anubis to make the judgments. It is only for me to send them to him to pass along to my god Osiris.
I see. So you consider yourself to be extremely and entirely devoted to your gods?
Extremely.
Fascinating that you would still show loyalty towards gods that would send you on such a dark and perilous journey, but that is neither here nor there. I understand now where your limitations are, and to give you a little bit of solace in this contract, here's the terms that I'm willing to lay down for your consideration. You will have the full power to negotiate the limits of what you are and are not willing to do on my behalf when the time comes that I come calling for my favor. You will have every right ability to be able to turn down in favor of a deferred future agreement. However, should you perish before our agreement is met, your soul will not pass on until our terms are settled. It will not belong to me. I will not take ownership of your soul. I will merely be leasing it. So, should the time come, you refuse my favor, and you perish before your time, your soul will come right back here. You will be sent right to the back of the queue, and eventually you'll make your way back up to me where we can try again. Maybe come on more amicable terms. But you will have to do the waiting. For after all, the waiting is the torment here.
I can't believe the renter's economy made it all the way down to hell.
Honestly. So, to understand this, my soul would not belong to you. It would belong to you insofar as I complete the task and I move on. Yes? Am I understanding correctly?
That is a pretty accurate way of describing it. Once our terms are settled, your soul will be free to go wherever it is intended.
If I make this agreement with you, what is to stop you from simply never calling upon me until it is too late?
I think you underestimate the amount of use that I might have for you later down the line. I will come calling. It's just a matter of whether you say yes or no. And then any deferment, any extension on this agreement that will keep your soul in perpetuity going through our lines will be entirely on you.
He kind of looks to the line and sighs, and your terms, while not what I would personally like, then again, I'm not one to... Like any of the contracts I've been forced to sign while I am here are, I suppose, agreeable.
Excellent.
Wait. Can I step back? I have one more thing I actually would like to add.
Oh, signed it. Oh, no.
I'm so sorry. No. I just thought about one more thing. Whatever that you seek for me to do will not ultimately result in me being banned here.
If you end up damned here, it will be of your own volition and not from anything that I asked you to do.
Very well.
It is a pleasure doing business with you.
Well, it is doing business, I'll say that much. I assume the contract is there for him to sign.
Yep, she materializes an infernal contract before you.
So I sign the contract, I hold the staff towards her.
And she rifles through her pockets and pulls out a gavel and chisels away at the edges of your staff until a little legal seal is stamped into it before it fades away, erupting into fire, and your boulder shrinks by 1/16 of a size.
I have to go get Belial now.
Since I have no use for you now, I do not want to delay you any further. So, simply take this contract, you'll be able to bypass that line, and go straight to the man himself.
He takes hold of the contract with his free hand, without really saying anything else, makes his way into the fast pass lane.
Awesome.
Alrighty, so you make your way down the hall to the right towards Belial.
Can I add something while we're in the fast pass line?
Please do.
I am forced to wait behind one person. Excuse me, little input the heart horns. Why do you just do the laps? Have you nothing better to do?
There is not a damn thing better. This side of the Rio Hell. What would a Rio Grande in hell be?
The river Styx.
The river Styx. Yeah, but it doesn't have the same ring to it. What the? I appreciate you.
The Rio Styx.
the Rio Styx.
That's very kind. You slap my ass and yell, "Yeah!" That was a really useful idiom from you.
Prosecutor LaRose, take a hero point.
Yeah.
He just kind of like sidles by him and holding the contract and makes his way to Belial. I just wanted to have we've established that LaRose is in the fast pass lane. I gotta interact with him.
Are you glad you did? Was that good for you?
All right, I will turn it over to you, Jordan, after that.
So as you make your way up the lightning lane, past LaRose, you see Belial swarmed by different imps, bringing him paperwork and court cases and all sorts of things, and he's just sitting there rubbing his temples, and he's just muttering to himself.
I hate paperwork. Getting after money and don't worry, have people give you less paperwork to file. No. Does everyone believe Fierna has no paperwork? Absolutely not. If anything, I got more paperwork because everyone comes to me because I'm a really big dumb one you can pull fast one over. Man, can that trick work?
Oh, he's a himbo. Oh my god.
No, what's up, my dude? You don't normally come in the fast path lane. What can I do you for, my guy?
I've already spoken with Fierna about the Boulder trial, that I need both of your stamps to progress.
She already built you a contract?
She already built me a contract.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for you, little man, is I'm just gonna sign my name right next to hers, whatever her deal was, I'm just gonna stick it on. She's copying my work so much in the past. This is all how it is. Okay, man? So,
Oh boy.
I'll stamp for you.
And he pulls out his little stamp that says Belial approved. It looks like it has not been used all that often. He takes it, stamp on your staff, and he sends you on your way. He's like, oh.
Does this mean that Belial now can call on me whenever he needs me?
Belial will now have sway as well in your special little task. I believe it'll still be one task, but now he's got some interference he can play.
Okay, so they can go back and forth on what it is instead of me having to do one for Fierna and one for Belial. Okay.
Exactly. He's gonna piggyback off of.
That's what I was worried about. I was worried it was one for one and one.
Is the new stipulation that Belial has to approve?
Yes.
Okay.
Belial is like,
Thank God she's finally done some work here. I'm gonna piggyback.
Thank who?
Thank Asmodeus. I don't have to do this work right now. That was the easiest thing I've had to do in Millennium. Now I gotta go back and 3 million other court cases. Alright, see you, my man. That was great. Nice to meet ya. Please remember one.
Okay, so I take my staff, which is now 1/16 sided, even smaller, so we're down to the full 1/8 it's supposed to be smaller, and he kind of, again, another courteous nod and just kind of makes his way through. If I have to come back through here again, I'm going to scream.
LaRose walks in, high fives Belial, and then goes back to the front of the fast pass line.
It's like the fast pass line to meet like the Disney characters. She just walks in, takes a selfie, and then goes back to the next one.
yeah, we take like a picture. Belial throws up some devil horns and it's like,
Pulls out just a little pink book full of signatures, but it's the exact same signature every time. So now, as you make your way out of the courthouse, you step out into the searing heat of the lava pools around you and walk past a lake of fire where you can see off in the distance there is a line of imps that are being lowered into the fire one at a time as penance for whatever crimes they may have committed. And every third imp gets that exact same level up that you just went through in line when they hit the fire. The others just disintegrate and reform elsewhere.
And then you're like fourth one is like really weirdly excited.
You trudge your way up a long, winding set of stairs that makes its way up and out and past all of these lava and fire flows. And all of the denizens of Phlegathos are watching as you are making your way through and triumphantly making your pilgrimage up these very seldom used stairs. And you can see up on a cliffside overlooking this pathway that you are taking, there is just rows of pit fiends and Irinees and barbed devils and bearded devils all staring down at you in fascination. And for a moment, you see, kind of skittering between them, a man who looks a little too long.
Oh no, not man who is too long!
Yeah!
But every time you get a focus on him, he seems to vanish.
Does Imhotep comprehend that it is man who is too long, or is he like just not quite grasping?
Roll insight.
Insight. That's a 2. It's a 10 actually.
Holy crap, dude.
That's a really good insight. Holy
Plus
shit.
8 on my insight.
With a 10, I would say the thought occurs to you, but you're not certain.
Okay, then I won't do what I was going to do, because it wouldn't make so much sense. Because I'm still wearing the ring.
Just out of curiosity, what were you going to do?
If I had processed that it was man who is too long who gave me the ring, he'd probably cast Remove Curse to take the ring off. And be like, somebody is clearly still watching me, and I do not like this, and he's going to take the ring off. But if he doesn't process that it is man who is too long that gave him the ring, he's not going to think to take it off yet. He's going to kind of forget that it's there.
And continuing up, you make your way through several other buildings that lead you up, spiraling out of this inferno towards another cave face. As you are going up, you feel yourself going down, and it is a very strange and disorienting experience.
I'm really glad that I have the staff and not a boulder, because I'd probably drop it.
As you ascend downwards into the cavernous systems of Minaris.
My turn?
Your turn, Jordan.
All right. As you enter into Minaris, you pass by a sign that looks quite recently painted over that says, "Hello, welcome to Minaris."
How strangely welcoming.
And as you're walking along, there's a little bit of a window out through the cave that you're walking through, and you see what seems to be a long abandoned iron city. It looks like there's nobody there, no life living in that city, and off to the left of it you see this long ascending iron tower going up, and as you continue on your way you find yourself in these mines, and there are imps everywhere swinging pickaxes at walls, and they seem to be gathering things like gems, gold ore, things of like rich value. And just beyond them, in the darkness and kind of in the back of these cavern systems, are very cold, long abandoned forges that if anyone takes some time to really like look into them and study them, they look like they were used to make weapons, but it's been forever since they've been used. And as you continue your way up, going up and up and up, you find yourself surrounded by more and more imps, just working tirelessly at these walls.
I'm just imagining them singing a very depressed version of the dwarf song from Snow White. We dig, 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 dig.
So glad I'm not the only one.
Hi-ho.
Whistle while you work.
Whistle while you work. Sorry.
Their lips are too dry and cracked. They can't produce a whistle, so it just...
You got that one that resembles a meerkat, and it's like, dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel, dig a tunnel, never gets done.
There are a handful of them who seem a little bit more at ease than the others, as they're digging their way through. Those ones that feel a little more at home have some residual moisture just kind of seeped into their hands and feet.
They're damp.
What's the moisture?
We're not gonna talk about what the moisture is.
Just moving on.
As you march your way past all of these working imps, you see there's a lot of gems spiking out of the wall, and there seems to be stuff dripping from the ceiling. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
That's a nat 20.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Just with your quick reflexes, you've spent so much time pushing this boulder that now it's a staff. You're so quick and so spry that you manage to step right out of the way as this big drip of acid splashes on the ground before you, as it just smokes with this sulfuric, citric smell in the air.
Gross.
And a couple of nearby mining imps look at that splash of acid and say to themselves, I don't know whether to be nostalgic or traumatized. Little of both.
Little of both.
I still haven't decided whether I prefer this layer or the other one.
So as you leave this current room of imps, you enter into another that seems to be more set up for traversal. You see a bunch of rail cart railways going here and there, and a couple of imps manning it, sending valuable ores and metals and crystals back and forth through the layers. And you really can't see any other way to continue up from here.
You do see that you can expedite the trip by hopping into one of these rail carts. If there's anything you want to do to brace yourself before you release the brake and start the mine cart moving, now is the time.
What he will do is he will have the two top bandages. He will kind of wrap those around his chest and use those to like brace against the back of the cart, to wrap them around his waist and brace against the front of the cart so that he's kind of like tightly in the middle with his bindings holding him in place as much as they can. And he's using the staff as a lap bar.
Okay, so you're kind of like cat's cradled in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Ready for the roller coaster.
Exactly.
A mummy ride, if you will.
Yeah!
You guys hear this weird guy yelling, Amun-Ra, Amun-Re, your soul belongs to me. And he's like, who is that?
And allow me to introduce today's special guest, Arnold Vosloo.
Yeah! So yeah, once he's, seat belted in, he's gonna pull the lever and get the cart going.
And as you begin thundering down the track, it very quickly spikes downward and begins to pick up steam. And you see yourself heading towards a junction point where there are multiple devils standing around rail switches, excitedly anticipating the thundering clacking of your minecart.
I've been playing enough Derail Valley. I know what's happening next. Let's do this. I've been playing enough my train games recently.
Being ready to send you who knows where. So I'm going to turn this over to Aaron and Grayson.
Oh, God.
I'm so excited, Brother Talc. We're gonna send him right into the hells. Again, more.
I'm totally ready to, do the thing that you just said.
Gary on?
Would you like to do the honors and go first, Brother Talc?
To go first. I think I'd rather do the 5 one.
Agreed.
I think they're selecting railway number 5.
Yeah, Brother Talc, I guess, is gonna look over for like those baby switches that is basically like learning numbers.
Oh.
He just walks over to one of those and he just like looks for the one that looks like an S, because it's the one, it's like the S is closest to the T, and that's how he knows how to spell his name.
Brother Stout.
The S is silent. He goes over, clicks on the S, he's like, 5.
Good job.
All right, so as he throws the switch to track 5, you feel this minecart sharply turn off to the right and come barreling down a pathway. And you hear a rumbling in the distance. And as you look up, you can see, Indiana Jones style, an enormous boulder rolling down a nearby cliffside, heading directly towards you, impacting you in 30 seconds, real time, starting now.
How big is the boulder?
Boulder is, I would say, large size.
Damn it.
No, medium size.
I'm going to use another. I have to put my hands on. I can't use stone shape. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cast. As soon as it gets there. Hold on, where is it? I thought I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it. Give me 1 second. Do I not have?
And that's time.
Dispel magic. As soon as the boulder is like right above me, I'm gonna dispel magic and just drop
Oh my god.
to the bottom of the cart, to the bottom of the mine cart.
Oh, that's so good.
Excellent. So you momentarily go completely limp. All of your bandages let go. The boulder barrels directly over you, flattens and damages the top edges of this minecart, but keeps on barreling down. The minecart shakes a little bit, but keeps going down the path as you pop back up, with your concentration being broken by your own spell.
You know what the better way to do that probably would have been? To just drop.
But that's not nearly as fun as ragdolling.
Here's how I will reflavor that then. You do not dodge the boulder. It still runs you over and flattens you. You pop back up, bruised and battered, but nothing broken because you had zero resistance to it. So it just kind of sponged over you.
What it is like when really drunk people like tumble down a hill, completely ragdoll and flop their way down, and then get up completely unharmed because they just let it happen.
That's exactly what it is.
Exactly it.
Yep.
What happened to the staff though?
Roll just a straight d20 for luck.
Uh-oh.
That's a 7.
Uh-oh.
With a 7, the staff gets knocked out of the cart and clatters down to a different crossroads on the tracks.
But it's below me.
It is still on the rails, but it is kind of hanging precariously right by another track switch.
I want it noted that I don't think I have spent this many spells until I've come to hell.
Really making you work for it.
Oh, Brother Zeke. What's that?
It appears to be a rock stick, Brother Talc. This man knows his weapons. Rocks and sticks.
I like rocks.
So as this battered and beaten up minecart continues to scrape its way down the tracks, you begin to head towards the exit, but there is a track switch before you that can loop you back around so you can try to retrieve that staff.
I'm just gonna flip the switch and start making my way back.
All right, so you manage to, as this is barreling towards the exit heading towards Mammon, you flick the switch, and the track that you're on just completely 180s. So you're heading back the exact opposite direction now.
Welcome back. I see that you survived my original creation that I named the Boulder Trial. You were clever to have done so, but I'm a man of honor, and I'll kick the staff back into the minecart. Let's see how you do against the greatest danger of the hells. I will send you to track 8.
Yes!
Oh, no. Not track 8, brother.
I know, I'm so sorry, Brother Tal. You don't have to look.
Okay, I'm going to hide.
So he flips the switch, you get readjusted to track 8, and swing hard around the corner, barreling and thundering towards a crosswalk.
Crosswalk?
And there's a very elderly devil with a walker that is directly in the path, very slowly inching forward at a rate of like 1 foot per 10 seconds. Just inching his way, agonizingly slow, and you are careening right towards him. 30 seconds starting now.
I am going to use... Where is my command spell? I know I have command. I know I have it. Where is it?
Does he have it prepared?
Command this geriatric devil.
Wait a minute. Oh no.
Oh, yes.
I think command was a warlock spell.
Oh, shit.
I don't think I have command anymore.
Oh no!
Time. So,
Careening towards Old Man Jenkins.
you are going to,
Oh wait, it is here. No, it is here. It is here. Never mind. I use command. I commanded. I tell him to sprint.
and as you careen down towards this man, you command him to sprint, and he starts shuffling really fast, which gives him like 3 feet per 10 seconds.
I'm gonna use another one. I'm gonna use a second command and just go faster. Can I do that, Dan?
Sure, go ahead and burn both of those spell slots. You will clip him.
Oh no!
Okay, that's fine. At least he's not dead.
And you will only take 1d12 of bludgeoning damage as you clip him,
Me?
as opposed to what you would have had you careen straight in.
Oh boy.
So 1d12. Okay, so you will take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, that's fine.
As you command this guy, he moves faster and faster and faster, but still way too slow. You bump into his hip, popping it back into alignment. And you are shaken and rattled, and the force will give you 5 bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And it will knock you off your course.
Oh
So it
no.
will send you onto a completely different track.
Oh no.
Wow. What a nice young man.
Father Silicon, you're him!
I'm better. I've never felt more alive.
He does one heel click and he breaks his hip again.
Blast these glass hips.
I don't like glass.
Oh.
Glass is too soft.
Mammon's medical insurance is a fraud. There, I've said it.
And Daniel, I need you to roll a d10.
That's a 4.
With a 4, as you are knocked off the track, you are set careening down an unpaved cavern with stalactites and crystals all around you. And the wheels of your cart begin to spark and bring up a huge screeching trail of embers as you're breaking through these crystals, and your sparks and the fumes catch. You will have 30 seconds as a big jet of fire ignites underneath you.
Oh, easy.
30 seconds starting now.
Create water.
Yeah.
Duh.
I love it when that spell actually does something.
You know, the one spell that, like, is otherwise useless, but I've made sure is when Imhotep's prepared at every time.
Awesome.
Joke's on you, it's a chemical fire.
No.
You still have 15 seconds as this chemical fire gets more intense from the water.
Because water doesn't always put out fire.
Yeah, no, so I use my create water to try and douse the flames, but you're right, it's a chemical fire, which is a terrible decision. I guess it's a spirit guardian, but to put between me and him, so this giant Anubis statue.
So you summon and hide and cower behind this. You said it was a stone statue of Anubis?
Yeah, like a living stone statue of Anubis.
He's just weighing down the cart because he's so big and heavy.
He's weighing down the cart and smothering the fire.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna push him off to smother it.
Oh.
The disrespect.
It's not my god, it's Anubis. It's not my fault that that the gods sent me the wrong one.
As you push him backwards off into the flames, his like still stone body goes flying back, and you see just a single tear drop down his
Sorry, I
cheek.
really needed that. And I make it like a smaller heart with my hands as I'm speeding away.
And you feel your own heart get a little heavier.
I know.
When you first summon him, he says,
Patron of undeath, you have summoned me through your great devotion and shown strong reverence to our ways. How may I assist you?
No. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Yeah, no, cool. That's great. That's great. And I push him.
This will be remembered in the new world.
and then he smothers the fire.
That's totally fair. I'm sorry.
And you feel that Nile River water get a little murkier.
Oh no.
Womp womp.
Oh, my funny bit is coming back to haunt me. No.
Ain't that D&D?
Yeah, hey man, I feel that.
So the cart comes careening to a wall. It bumps up against a jagged crystal from underneath and leaps up over the track that you were originally on, slamming down onto yet another different track. Roll a d10.
That's a 3 this time.
So you jump up over the track into some more of the cavernous tunnels, and you are clearly going through an area that has not been mined out but has been dug out, and you see some holes along the wall as you are careening your way down, and some insects begin to stick out and make their way towards you. You have 30 seconds as from the left, these insect-like pincers begin to reach out towards you.
I'm gonna use Sacred Flame.
Okay, go ahead and roll a Sacred Flame attack. I know it's a save, but roll just a ranged spell attack.
Ooh, that's a nat 1.
With a nat 1, give me one moment to pull up a stat block.
Oh no! Don't put up a stat block.
You light Brother Talc on fire.
That's fine.
Yeah.
With your nat 1, as you go to Sacred Flame it, all you do is aggravate it, and it leaps out of the cave and grapples you with its pincers. And so you are now in combat with a carrion crawler.
Yum!
I don't want to be in combat with a carrion crawler. Dan, you were saying this is going to be a nice short session. It's going to be easy. It's going to be done conversations.
I didn't say it would be easy. I just said it would be short.
Hey brother,
Yes, Brother Talc.
was it your turn or my turn to feed Giuseppe?
I don't think anyone's fed Giuseppe the carrion crawler in months. I'm sure it won't come up.
We are now in combat. It is grappling you, and it will attack.
Okay.
It is going to try to bite you, and it is going to try and wrap its tentacles around you.
Gross.
It's going to be a 13 on the tentacles,
That misses.
and 17 on the bite.
Oh,
That hits.
So it will chomp down on you and deal 2d4 plus 2 piercing damage, so it's not that bad. The tentacles would have actually been worse. So that will be 7 damage,
Okay, so I'm at 45 health.
and that will end its turn, so now it is your turn.
Okay, I am going to be very mean, and I'm going to cast Blight.
Ooh, describe Blight.
Target must make a Constitution saving throw. We'll start with that.
That is a 13.
Okay, so then he fails. That is 8d8 necrotic.
Yes.
Ooh.
oh my god.
So as this large centipedal being bites into you, this rot just infects it outward from you.
Imhotep's nasty.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 damage.
Anything else you do with your turn?
Can I bonus action to try to break the grapple with a strength check?
Go for it. Go ahead and make a strength check.
11.
And that is a 13, so you do not break
So,
out of its grip.
Do not break free. I have to put all my dice back into my bag now.
Well, hey, who knows? You might need it.
I know, you might need them again.
But you know what I will say for its turn, if that ends your turn?
Yeah, that ends my turn.
So for its turn, because you hurt it pretty badly with that blight, you didn't save from your strength, so you're not going to break free of its grapple, but it is going to throw you away and skitter out of combat.
So I hit him with the blight. So there's this black energy that leaps out of his hands. I look up, I lock eyes with it. I just hold my finger up, and the finger is still burning with that black energy. Just raise my eyebrows and just stare at him like, I'll do it again. I'll do the shit again.
So it throws you away, back out onto the track as it skitters away. So now, Imhotep, you are thrown back out onto the railway track, and you can see descending into this tunnel, you can hear the clack of this minecart getting further and further away. I need you to roll perception.
21.
With a 21, I will say you can tell it's going to come out on track 9.
Yes. I know where track 9 is.
You find the beautifully labeled track 9. It's the only track that's labeled.
And as you make your way over towards track 9, listening to the distant rattling of this minecart that you hear echoing through the caverns, you're able to track it to another junction point where there are some more of those holes in the wall.
Yeah.
And you can also hear the screeching of some bats You will need to make a dexterity saving throw as a jet of bats burst from this hole with the minecart right behind.
I do not like Mr. Mammon's magical ride. I would like to get off. Thank you. Dan, it's another nat one.
Stop it!
Dan.
Put it back!
Give me one moment.
Oh no.
Time to get out a swarm of bats.
I'm not going to enter you into another combat, but what will happen is you're not going to dodge out of the way, so you will take 4d4 slashing damage from the swarm of bats moving past you, and then 2d10 bludgeoning damage as the cart comes down on top of you.
Okay.
So you will take 12 slashing damage from the bats,
Okay. 33 health.
and then 13 bludgeoning damage as the minecart slams down on top of you, and then rolls to a small stop just behind you.
I have 20 HP left.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Dan, why do you hate me? Okay.
I was gonna say
Your
it's the
dice
nat
hate you.
ones.
Oh, he's gonna kind of have to lean on the staff and just make his way over. He's gonna do the thing where it's like you like lean over the edge and just kind of roll and flop into the cart. He's gonna have one of his bandages reach out and like pull whatever brake to get the thing going again. He's just laying down in the bottom of the cart.
And then it just slowly, weakly rolls forward and out of the caverns down towards Mammon.
You made it!
Hey!
Whoever designed this ride needs a lot of therapy. And so now Imhotep has to like clamber out. I'm imagining that the cart kind of rolls up to Mammon's office a little bit.
Yeah, what you see is the cart slowly rolls your limp body up to a hole in the wall where obviously imps have mined into, and you see the hole breaks into an iron wall, and you now find yourself in this giant iron tower you saw before. You see these rickety, rusted pathways being hung up by chains suspended over this boiling vat of acid, sending up like sickly, acidic, sour smells.
So it rolls up and it hits the stop part. And what Mammon sees is just this one hand reach up, other hand reach up, slowly hoist himself out and just kind of flop and have to sit back against the cart for a moment. Finger up. I'll be with you in just a moment. And eventually he takes the staff and he's leaning on it and he's making his way over.
So good. Imhotep, as you sit there catching your breath, you look out in front of you and you see these rickety iron pathways all coated with slight wear and tear from the acid below. But all the way up at the top, in contrast to the rest of this place, you see a beautiful mahogany desk. And right behind it is this big, red, toothy devil in a fine pressed suit, hands steepled on his desk.
You look like shit.
Holy shit.
What a dick. Oh.
Fucking Dan and Jordan with the great intros.
Why have you come to see Mammon today?
Boulder trial. Wanna go home. Don't like it here.
Wonderful. Well, come on in. Come on in. Can I get you water?
He's just gonna limp all the way up. A little water would be fine if you're actually offering.
He pulls out of his desk drawer just the tiniest little glass of water.
Tiny compared to him or tiny compared to me?
Tiny compared to you. It's like a shot glass.
Anything for my prospective clientele.
Thanks. Kind of sticks his tongue in. Because it's like the only way to get it out.
Do you have a tongue?
I was about to say, I'm sorry, it's the bandage thing that we did a while ago. The bandage comes up under his jaw.
Aw.
He's mostly using it to just not necessarily hydrate because it doesn't necessarily need water, but he's using it to like moisturize the inside of his mouth just because it's so uncomfortably dry.
Horrible. Thank you.
Gross jerky man strikes again.
As you lap up this water like a dog, Mammon's just staring at you with this big, sharky, toothy grin and just cold, emotionless, tiny eyes staring at you as he watches you finish up your tiny glass of water.
Well, I'll keep things short and sweet for you. Do you know what I specialize in?
He looks at the desk. I'm going to assume opulence.
Some might say so. But unlike the other devil lords, I deal with material things. I have no need for tasks or trickeries or errands. I deal in matter of coin, matter of value. So unlike the other lords I will send you on a vague errand, I'm here to make a monetary deal with you.
And what would that deal be?
Well, you see, I can tell you are of an Egyptian descent. Your people have quite a bounty of artifacts and golds and various things of those delights. Very respectable. I will request from you something of great financial exchange in order to pass through my lair. I'm willing to hear whatever you are willing to offer, but there is something of yours that is of peak interest to me, and I might give you an extra special deal if you're willing to part with it.
What is it from me that you would request?
From one of your more modern temples, there is a beautiful artifact. A thing made of pure gold that I wish to get my hands on. By you merely promising it to me and signing the contract, it will be mine. And the deal I will make for it is you will never have to step through my lair again. You can merely skip it entirely. And what I ask from you is that beautiful scarab.
Is he talking about sparkles?
Yes, I've heard you've given it a pet name. I think it would make a fine addition to my collection here. And if not, it can be melted down into beautiful coin. Well, that is what I ask. Unless you have something else you are willing to bargain, but that will not include my special deal.
Hit him with the tiger poster.
I'm no longer insanely attached to it.
If you offer me something else, and then need to leave my realm once again, I will require a new object for you. Unless scarab. If you have any items in mind, I would love to hear about them. I can even bring forth one of my valuable books that will tell me its exact value.
I'm gonna be honest, I ain't got shit on me.
Even if it's something that you have some sort of tie to in the material realm, if you promise it to Mammon and sign his contract for it, it does not matter that you don't have it physically on your person, but if there's some arguable claim you have to it, he will take it from you.
I will say, for the sake of simplicity, if there's an object that you can acquire, you will be given the ability to just send it directly down to hell to Mammon.
Or we can keep this simple and sweet. Just do my original offer.
I kind of have a suggestion, but I don't know if it's my place to say anything.
What you got?
At least per Jack, he did get that key, and early on in the session, he showed you guys the key saying that it's supposed to house a shit ton of money. But I just don't know how true that really is.
Oh shit, the key to Rainer's vault?
Yeah. So, I mean, Imhotep could try and, like, trick Jack and take as much money as he can, or share the information and say he's got a debt to pay.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, if we do want to follow this path, I have an amendment to the deal if you want to hear it.
I am a man of little means. It is the way of a priest to not live the opulent life that you do. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out 15 gold, because that's all that I have. This is to my name what I have. Allow me to pass with this. Should I pass through the next time, I will grant to you sparkles. Without any, allow me to pass for my humble offering. And should I find myself here again, you shall have what you expressly desire.
He looks at your meager offering on his beautiful mahogany desk, TM, and he stares at it with his clammy hands steepled.
You know what? I'm not normally a gambling devil, but I have a feeling I might see you again. We have a deal.
And he slaps his hand on his desk and just slowly scrapes the 15 coin into his palm and drops it into one of his drawers.
And as a show of good faith, if you can accomplish something minor for me, if you can get this rock here as close to the next Devil Lord you'll see, I might be able to give you a little something in return.
And he slides to you just what looks like a normal regular rock.
He's gonna take it, because at this point, fuck all the other Devil Lords.
Yeah!
Yeah, fuck everybody at this point.
I'm glad we could do this.
And takes a cigar that was smoldering in an ashtray nearby and just singes it up against your staff. And when he removes it away, you see a glowing ember M, sort of in a style of a $sign, and he pops that sucker into his mouth.
I hope to see you again fairly soon.
He is going to make a bit of a big deal out of this as he kind of walks past Mammon, and I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself at level 5.
Excellent.
28 health points back.
And Mammon goes,
Well, now, I need to start charging for the water.
And he walks. And he walks away. He's just,
awesome.
So, as Imhotep is walking around what I assume is the back of Mammon's desk, this little boxy imp comes walking in with this great big book. They stare at each other. And Imhotep keeps walking.
Thank you for the cameo, Daniel.
Come here, Oozdaus. We need to look at the exact value of a giant gold scarab. We'll be adding it to our collection fairly soon.
So Oozdaus walks up with the great big book and says, "Of course, my lord." And then you hear, faintly down the hallway, you hear Imhotep.
Yeah!
Hey Dan, what size is the boulder now?
The boulder is now size small.
Yeah!
So in his hands, the staff has turned into just like, let me see if I can find a good example of it.
Like a
Little
wand.
wand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It specifically looks like a crook. Can I do the dumb thing?
Of course. Always.
Do the dumb thing.
All right, so he's gonna look at it as he's making his way out from Mammon's lair. He's gonna kind of stop, look at the crook. This does not feel appropriate. I am not a king, nor do I have the other half. I only have the crook, not the flail. So I'm going to cast one more use of stone shape, and he's going to be thinking. He's going to kind of be molding it and shaping, and he's thinking as he's kind of got this almost like clay in his hands. And he's like thinking about something that is this size that he's seen somebody else use before. And he eventually pushes it and pulls it, and he comes out with what we have christened the rock block.
Yeah!
So he's like, I do not understand the purpose of this, but Eric has one, Larry has one, and it seems quite useful.
Son of a bitch.
Do you just like stick it in your Egyptian waistband and just continue going forward? Hell yeah.
Yes, exactly. He just puts it into his waistband like it's a holster.
Awesome.
Oh,
All right.
I also want to note that he has bored out a little bit so that he can carefully place his vial of Nile water, and so the rock Glock is technically a magical focus.
Oh my god.
And I'll point the rock Glock at someone and shoot a spell at them.
Yeah.
So, rock Glock in hand, you make your way out of the crystalline chambers of Mammon and begin to step your way back through the caverns. And you overhear more of the imps bickering to themselves about the way things used to be before Diz and Minaris were flipped. And again, you get more of the complaints of whether the swamp was worse or whether the rocks are worse, and some of them prefer it dry, some of them prefer it damp. Either way, it's all unpleasant, and you start to see where these two layers converge as you begin making your way outside the other end of this iron tower towards a small rocky staircase that has been weathered away by acid, and streams of acid that are slowly being filtered into the water that will run into the blood that will run into the river Styx, winds its way around this path, and disintegrating in the acid are piles of old, discarded machinery and weaponry that are being eroded and eaten away and melting back into the ore. This pile of broken down and discarded infernal engines, these large, open-mouth tank-like machines that had once burned with infernal fire that are now being discarded and scrapped for parts, left behind and abandoned from the days when this lair once was a forge. And leaving that behind, you see in the staircase winding up, as you are careful to watch your step, acid beginning to leak down along the sides, and poison fumes awaiting you outside of the cave systems as you leave Minaris and enter Diz.
My favorite Kingdom Hearts character.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not. I mean, it was voiced by Christopher Lee.
And stepping above ground,
Oh god, it's a From Software Poison Swamp. Oh god, oh fuck.
you enter into a marshy wasteland that is hazardous to the touch. And everything around you see these big old fog plumes of poisonous gas that surround and encompass you. You see these lakes and creeks and rivers of acid that are melting and burning their way through the ground. Some of them even going so far as to drip into the layer below. And there is a treacherous path before you that is not very well worn. Mostly a few natural footholds in between the sinking glops of mud that are melting away beneath you, and the streams of acid in between.
I guess I don't have much of a choice but to be very careful and take that path.
Keep the sandals out of the muck. Muck, muck.
Slop, slop, slop. Ugh, it's just like that curse from a few years ago.
Off in the far distance, you can hear sounds of industry and machinery, and you can hear some life off in the far distance before you as you schlop your way through the swamp and begin to very slowly approach the remains of a sunken city. And you start to see more life all around you, not in the terrain, but as souls begin to manifest and materialize and approach this city. Go ahead and roll either Insight, Arcana, or History.
That is a 17.
With a 17, you see appearing at a rapid rate all around and flocking towards this city more souls than you have seen anywhere throughout the Hells.
Ooh, boy.
And you're able to piece together that this appears to be the entryway and spawn point for where souls first arrive in the Hells. And they are flocking towards this city with these big iron gates that have swiveled open and are beginning to process and take this large mass of souls through to be processed, sorted, and sent to their respective layers.
He's not happy about it, but he's also kind of learned that that's just kind of how it goes here.
And as you begin to make your way, following this path towards this sprawling city that has mostly sunk into the muck and mire and is in disarray and disrepair, but does have some signs of scaffolding and some renovations, as it looks like the city is in the process of being revitalized and rebuilt and reconstructed. As you approach what at one point must have been a bustling metropolis, you see a bunch of propaganda posters in a sort of 1940s World War II minimalist style that are recruitment campaigns for the blood war taking place in Avernus. And as you start to walk down these more freshly paved cobblestone streets, as you worm your way through the turnstiles, in between this ocean of souls that are making their way down these narrow paths through the desolation and destruction that come to a point and a head, you look around and you see this entire complex is surrounded by a railway line. And as you step through into the central town square of the main street, you hear a plume of steam, and a voice announces,
Your attention, please. The Disland Limited. Now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Tragic Kingdom. With stops at Sorrowland, Screamboat Willie's Toontown, and New Orleans Square. All aboard!
Oh my god.
and the train behind you departs and begins to encircle this city.
And this is just the map from Epic Mickey.
The map is exactly Epic Mickey. As you look around and see the remnants of this sunken city and see this large, towering mountain spewing acid that is infecting the land around it. You see an industrial center of booming technology. You see parades of Hellfire engines off in the distance, making their way down Mame Street. As the souls are being sent off, splintered, and filtered every which way, their value being extracted from them bit by bit as they pay to avoid being drafted into the blood war above, and are literally deteriorated and broken down into monetary value.
Into soul coin, baby.
Oh, shit.
And with the clattering of soul coins echoing around you, you step forward into Disland.
Can't decide if I love it or hate it.
It's love.
We are the outcasts, misfits you might say. We deal with the nightmares that you run away from every single day. We know the world is a gruesome little place, but us outsiders, we've developed quite a taste for the grisly and morbid, the ghastly and the horrid. We know it's awful, dreadful, but we like it. Just another haunted night, shrouded with unearthly fright. So when you're oh so terrified, you know who to call. The world is falling apart, we'll never take it to heart. Some monsters and creatures and spirits and specters and all, let's all have a ball.
And that's why my brother doesn't let me go down that area. 'Cause I also leak fumes.
Oh.
Ew.
Grayson, why? Every time.
Grayson's not allowed in hell anymore.